June 21st, 9:48 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Hey everyone, welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. We are in the beginning stages of the trial of Maya Fey, and in the previous video we received quite a shocker. Our Magatama activated in front of Mia, of all people, who Maya was channeling, and it seems that Mia is hiding something from us. But unfortunately we cannot do anything about that right now because in the trial mode we cannot use the Magatama. But anyway, let's get started, huh? What? Prosecutor von Karma? You mean? No, I heard it's his successor this time. Successor? Manfred von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks, also he couldn't win. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get in each of those guilty verdicts. And now his successor. I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. It's no good. Missing Maya! Pearly! You showed up! Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then you came up by yourself? Yep, I snuck out of the manor and followed the map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. I can't. Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train, oh man. Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? I give up. By the way, I should have already fixed the audio issues I had in the last few videos. Sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about short of redoing the whole thing, which I'm not willing to do because all 4 of those last videos took around 5 hours, and I don't have 5 hours to spare right now. But I also tuned down the volume for the desktop sounds, so you should be able to hear my voice a lot easier now over the music and sound effects. Although even by tuning it down up here, it doesn't seem to have any effect at all on the video itself. Anyway, let's continue. It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who is that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend.
Objection!
I still remember him as though we had seen him only yesterday.
Objection!
Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end.
Objection! Objection!
There was always a back and forth with them. But when you're rivals for life... Maya, please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone, and he's not coming back. What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick. June 21st, 10 a.m. District Court, Court number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared? What is with this kid? Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Phoenix Wright. You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct? Hold on. So she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Karma? I am Franziska Von Karma, the Prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred Von Karma? If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Ow! I'm talking. If you interrupt again, mine will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Yow! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Prosecutor Von Karma, your opening statement, please. Those of Von Karma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch. Very well. What is the defense's position? Your Honor, that the defense wished to enter a plea of not guilty? Yes. Foolish fool, foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense? A plea of usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of himself. We could very easily make a solid case for that with self-defense, but... The defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call on the first witness. She's just as scary as their father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Witness, your name and occupation? Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective in the local precinct. Get the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. The challenge chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit? That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Anyway, a few minutes after the challenge started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. And that's when they found that the victim is already dead, correct? I believe this is one of those most open and shut cases I've ever presided over. Floor plans added to the court record. A diagram of the channeling chamber. So, how was the victim killed? I was about to get into that. Stop wasting my time then. Cause of death. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot into the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. The before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer would use the pistol to finish the victim off rather after the stabbing. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. Autopsy report added to the court record. After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point-blank range. At point-blank. The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Alright. The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now why would he have...
Objection!
Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start. Fingerprints? There were fingerprints? Along with the victims. The defendants, Maya Faye's, were also on the grip, sir. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. I walked right into their hands there. Just that. Point blank, huh? So about how far away is that? That's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know he was shot at point blank? Mr. Phoenix Wright. I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn? When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there was definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Okay. Stabbed? And when was he stabbed with? A fruit knife. I see. And whose knife was it? It looks like it belongs to the face, sir. And of course, Maya's face fingerprints were all over it. All over it, huh? This does not look good. Ha ha ha. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Okay. Let's press that. How severe was the wound? If it hadn't been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. This testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. Okay. Are you sure he was stabbed at first and then shot? Yep, sure as can be. One look at the wounds and you come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot into the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter, then, which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Grr, what a pain. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the two murder weapons with me today. Very well. The court accepts them into evidence. Pistol added to the court record. Murder weapon was Gray's. 2 shots fired. Bears Maya's and Gray's fingerprints. Knife added to the court record. Murder weapon. A small fruit knife belongs to the Fays. Bears Maya's fingerprints. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claimed to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? This does seem like an open and shut case. Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary we just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to send that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room for left to a doubt, is there? That is quite true, Mr. Wright. Yes? Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It is the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See, just like I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. Actually, it does not matter which one you choose, because if you choose justified self-defense, you automatically correct yourself and go to not guilty. I'm not going to, although I'm curious to see what happened there, I'm not going to change anything. If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor, have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of a complete acquittal. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective? Yes, sir? Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike. Yes, sir. Now, see here. Proceedings are run by... Eek! Oh, yes. Of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Incriminating evidence. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant was attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a back spray of blood on this. This piece of directly links Maya fate to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Maya's costume added to the court record. Clothes Maya was wearing at the time of the murder. There were blood splatters on it. Alright, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse? Ha! What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. There's blood on the costume. That result strong as the victim's blood. So there's blood on the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So were there any other clues we could glean from this piece of evidence? Well,
Objection!
if we must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad. Not enough time. Let's move on. Ah, yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct. Urgh, not even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. I just have to look harder. Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There was no way for you to poke a hole in it. Looks like my time is up. So about the costume. There's one little thing actually that I noticed. Your Honor, actually, there was something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem you're talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Actually, it's right here. What does it look like to you? Looks to me like a bullet hole.
Take that!
I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. Ah, a hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What is this around the hole? It smells friendly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder. It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. Order, order, order! This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else. Maya's costume updated in the court record. Clothes Maya was wearing at the time of the murder. Press the... Okay, check one of the details. Okay. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Why does he call Von Karma Sir? Is she actually smiling? What is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That, just now, was a fluke. Nothing more.
Objection!
How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. Well, I agree that it is a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then no way. Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. I object to that. I mean, no. Okay, we can't really look at it from different angles. I guess that was just the previous case we did.
Objection!
Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes? Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? Ah, you're right. It seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. Ha! What is it with that "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Reasonable karma? It seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough for it to support a justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Now that you... Why, that's right. Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No. Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so? Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. What transpired? During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant picked up the gun on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. This scenario you have put together doesn't make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, on the surface it does seem like to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. He missed, you say?
Objection!
Missing the tiny hole in this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Eh? What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired this gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Ooh! But there was not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other.
Objection!
I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that?
Objection!
As if that were even possible. As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well, then, that's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There. That should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Pretty sure it's this. There was a fatal flaw in your argument, Your Honor. A fatal flaw? Yo! Very interesting. I would love to see what this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in this explanation somewhere. She put some distance in between them from before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. Yep. Right here.
Take that!
This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that? A folding screen? I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. Ah! It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? What? Who? Where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are you two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means when the shot was fired, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Order. This changes everything. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location, about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Hang on a second. I think this is correct.
Take that!
She was sitting here, near the folding screen. Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she was shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there was nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Ah! Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You! believe it has now been proven that the defendant was just standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think that this has changed the defendant's situation? It changes everything. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, Waylon, what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was a real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving logic behind everything is your job. Oof. Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the last radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective. How dare you damage my perfect logic? Huh? That was my fault. You can start by repairing your standing by first removing that 3-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lotta. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. To be continued. Well, that was pretty interesting. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I need this one. This is from over 2 years ago. Okay, with that, I'm going to end the video here. And next time, we will continue with the trial. I don't know how long that one will take, so that's why I'm splitting this up into 2 different videos here. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And next time, well, like I said, we will continue the trial. Until then, take care.